I saw the first Eastern Kingbird on May 26th, perched upright and still in a classic silhouette near the top of a tree. Just one bird at first. By May 31st, there were two in the exact same spot. And by June 3rd, I spotted one with a mouthful of dried plant material. She looked determined. She was trying to carry a long, dried stalk, almost too long to manage. At one point, she started what looked like jumping, grabbing the stalk in her beak, launching upward, and then landing awkwardly right back where she started, over and over again. That odd motion is actually what caught my attention in the first place, and even though I was far off and the footage is not the best, it was clear to me that this was nest building, and that long stalk, she eventually flew off with it. That moment, that persistent little jump, confirmed what I'd been hoping. Eastern kingbirds were nesting at my usual birding spot. And then, nothing for weeks. I kept listening for the signature sounds of fledglings, that insistent, scratchy, begging call. And finally, on July 21st, I heard a racket I couldn't ignore. It was a very hot, humid day, and the air was filled with chatter. I followed the sound, and sure enough, there they were. 3 Eastern Kingbird fledglings perched in a bare tree directly beside the Don Valley Parkway, one of the busiest, noisiest highways in Toronto. They couldn't have been closer to the highway if they tried. The fledglings were noisy, opening their mouths even before the adult arrived. The adult darted back and forth with insects, feeding one youngster at a time. Now, the fledglings looked smaller, slightly paler versions of the adult. Their heads weren't quite as dark and their posture a bit wobblier, but the family resemblance was unmistakable. Eastern kingbirds are striking to look at too. Their dark charcoal heads and backs, white chins and bellies, and a bright white band at the tip of the tail, often flared out when perched. Their calls are hard to miss. A kind of sharp, buzzy chatter. Some describe it as zir-zir or kit-kit-kit, almost mechanical in tone. If you've heard it once, you'll remember it. They're flycatchers, so they tend to sally out from high perches and snatch insects mid-air. And they do love a perch, especially the very top of a tree or the highest branch of a bush. It's part lookout, part hunting platform, and part declaration. This is my territory. Now, I have to mention the berry scene. There's one point where the adult landed between 2 fledglings, carrying 2 red berries in its beak. It turned to the right, then the left, over and over trying to feed them, but neither youngster would take the berries for some reason. I don't know, I kept thinking they must prefer the insects. Now, at certain angles, it looked to me that the adult was wearing a red clown nose. Let me know if you think the same, or if I'm just being silly. Eventually what happened was the 3rd fledgling swooped in with its mouth wide open, ready to accept the berries, saying, "I'll take that." These kinds of moments are the reason I keep watching. Even after all these years, bird families still surprise me. There were plenty of tender sibling moments. 2 young birds sitting pressed side by side until one decides to stretch out a wing and move a bit away. Another time, one nibbled the beak of its sibling almost playfully. At one point, the whole family flew into a deciduous tree right above me. 2 of the fledglings sat in the shade of the foliage, calling quietly. A rare, peaceful moment amid the general chaos of begging and buzzing wings. Now, Eastern kingbirds are short-term visitors here in Toronto. By late summer, they'll begin a remarkable migration all the way to South America, wintering in the Amazon basin. Until then, they raise their young in unlikely places, like this patch of green pressed between roads and fences and buzzing highways, and somehow still full of life. This is Birding with Calliope, where we capture glimpses of resilience, beauty, and connection in the unlikeliest of places. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more Birding with Calliope videos.